Go ahead.
What was your favorite artist?
Who is my favorite artist?
Who was your favorite artist?
Well, I have a lot of favorite artists. There's a gentleman called Tom Friedman who uses household items to create large sculptures. He'll use anything from plastic cups, sometimes he uses toothpicks, sometimes he uses little styrofoam squares, sugar cubes. You don't know, they're just random household items, and he does amazing sculptures with it. And so when I was thinking about, like, do I really think I can make it as an artist using Lego bricks? I was reading his book that has all these amazing pictures of artwork created out of all these regular items we all have at home. And so it kind of inspired me. And so when I saw that, I was like, maybe I could make art out of Lego. And that's what kind of led me to this. In fact, I even put together my own book called The Art of the Brick that hopefully other kids will read and say, you know, when they see my Lego art, they'll be like hopefully inspired to become artists themselves.
That took the inspired question.
Oh, feel free to ask it again.
Where do you get your Legos?
Where do I get my Lego bricks? Well, I buy them just like everybody else. Now, I've developed a very good business relationship with the Lego company, so I can order them by the tens of thousands. So I have a New York art studio that houses about 1.5 million Lego bricks at any given time. But as I use them, I just order thousands and thousands of more. So it's pretty fun to see a big truckload of Lego show up.
What was your first sculpture?
My first sculpture was probably when I was 5 years old, and I got my first Lego set and I built a little house. But these days, I'm building a lot bigger things. It was about 10 years ago that I'd been sculpting out of more traditional media, like clay and wire, and I thought, I wonder if I could build something out of Lego. So I did a large-scale self-portrait of myself that's here at the museum. It's black and white, and it's built out of those same Lego bricks I had as a kid.
How do you decide what to make?
How do I decide what to make? Well, you know, it just depends on my mood a little bit. I have to have inspiration. I come up with an idea, and then eventually I will start sketching out that idea. Because before I put down that first brick, I want to visualize in my head exactly what the sculpture is going to look like. So to do that, I sketch out a lot of things, and I sketch out on something called brick paper. Brick paper is a lot like graph paper, you know, the graph paper we use in math class. Well, instead of having little squares like on graph paper, brick paper has little rectangles that are the shape of Lego bricks. So I can sketch on that, and it kind of gives me a blueprint to get started.
How long did it take you for your first sculpture?
Well, the first time I did a large-scale sculpture, it took about 4 months. And I was just working on it on and off for 4 months. These days, I'm a little faster than that. If I'm doing a life-size human sculpture, like there's a sculpture here called Green, and it's a guy who's standing, life-size, full human figure, and he's kind of tearing his head off. That takes about 2 to 3 weeks to do a life-size sculpture like that. He's right over there. Yeah. What else you got?
What is your favorite sculpture?
What is my favorite sculpture? Well, probably the next one. I get excited about working on the next sculpture. You know, in fact, I'll be working on something and I'll get to a point where I'll be so excited about my next idea that I'll just want to finish up what I'm working on so I can move on to the next thing.
What is your favorite sculpture?
What is my favorite sculpture?
Oh wait, I just answered that, didn't I?
Still the next one.
The biggest sculpture.
The biggest sculpture. Well, I've done some big projects over the years. I did a dinosaur skeleton that's 20 feet long. I did a billboard that was 53 feet long and 15 feet high. It hung on the street in Hollywood, California, and it used over 500,000 Lego pieces. That was pretty big.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, thank you very much.
What was the question that your mom wanted you to ask?
How do you organize your Legos?
How do I organize my Lego bricks? Well, I have an art studio in New York City, and I have all the Lego bricks on shelves, and they're in these clear bins on the shelves, and they're organized by shape and color. So there's rows and rows of color. So when you walk into my art studio, it's a lot like walking into a rainbow, because it's all these stripes of color. It's pretty cool.
Not on its bedroom floor. Is the
Well,
answer.
of course I have to pick up my Lego at the end of the day. I don't want to step on it and hurt my foot.
That's exactly what I say.
Well, thank you very much for your good questions.
Thank you very much.